What do you think of when you hear the names Fred and George Weasley? Class clowns? Mischief masterminds? Or just the funny redhead twins? Today on Fantasy Archive we will share some of the pranks that made them so legendary, but we will also peel their other layers, their unique genius, their talents, and their loyalty. Stay tuned and find out why they're still fan favorites today. Fred and George Weasley were not your ordinary twins. They were born in 1978 on April Fool's Day, making them 4 and 5 on the 7 children in the Weasley family who lived in the borough on the outskirts of Otter St. Catchpole. Fred and George had always been known for their quick wit, sense of humor, and love of pranks. Their mother Molly said, as babies, they would throw their diapers in the air. As they grew older, they would often team up with their older brothers Bill and Charlie to pull elaborate practical jokes on their siblings and parents. They once convinced their younger brother Ron that their sister Jeannie had turned into a chicken. They replaced their mother's spices with frog spawn and giggled at the screams. Once, when Ron broke Fred's toy broomstick, Fred turned their sister Jeannie's teddy bear into a spider. Reason why Ron is afraid of spiders. Fred triggered his arachnophobia. That was the least of it for poor Ron. They almost got him to make an unbreakable vow. When their father Arthur found out, he was furious. Their love for pranks only grew as they got older. In their teenage years, Fred and George started experimenting with magic to create more elaborate and dangerous pranks. It was completely normal to hear explosion sounds coming from their room. When it was time for them to attend Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, they were sorted into the House of Gryffindor, which was known for producing brave and daring wizards. And brave they were. Their mischievous nature didn't take long to be noticed at Hogwarts, and soon they became known as the school's greatest pranksters, and fell under the school caretaker Filch's radar. Filch caught them throwing a stink bomb and seized it. But they only saw it as an opportunity, because they discovered Filch's drawer for confiscated things. They couldn't help it. One threw another stink bomb as a distraction, and when Filch left his office, the other went through the drawer, discovering what they didn't know would become a trusted ally for their mischief: the Marauder's Map. With it, they discovered 7 secret passages, 3 of them unknown by Filch. This is how they could always avoid getting caught. The twins only got more and more famous for their inventive and hilarious pranks. Overall, they messed with everyone. They often pretended to be one another. They bewitched snowballs to hit Professor Quirrell in the back of the head, unknowingly hitting Voldemort straight in the face. A win is a win. They stole Arthur's flying car to break Harry from Aunt Petunia's and used it to get to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. They almost trapped Percy in an Egyptian tomb. And finally, sick of Dudley's bullying nature, they jinxed a sweet and left it at Harry's so that Dudley would eat it. His tongue swelled up and started to grow. Arthur Weasley was furious and had to calm down the Dursleys and restore Dudley's tongue. However, not all their pranks went as planned, and they sometimes faced the consequences of their actions. In their 3rd year, they were given a lifetime ban from playing Quidditch by the then Hogwarts headmistress, Dolores Umbridge, after they bewitched their brooms to chase after her during a match. In their last year, they planted a portable swamp outside Umbridge's office and threw fireworks in the Great Hall during the end-of-term feast, which got them expelled. Despite their mischievousness, you could also see their potential. Fred and George were very good students and were even considered for the prestigious positions of head boy and Quidditch captain. They had an innate ability to produce potions and were gifted athletes. As Gryffindor beaters, they were like human bludgers. They were so good that the team would play with the 2 instead of the usual 3. At some point, their interest in studying wasn't very high. They knew what they wanted. They worked hard on their pranks products and tested them on other students. Their grades went down. They were starting their clandestine business and took orders from students. When Molly found out, she burnt it all. Nevertheless, eventually they were able to open their joke shop called Weasleys Wizard Wheezes, which quickly became a hit amongst Hogwarts students. Their success eventually led them to leave Hogwarts and pursue their business full-time. Besides being masters of mischief and skilled wizards, Fred and George were also known for their loyalty and willingness to stand up for what they believed in. When Harry's broom was jinxed in his first Quidditch match, Fred and George flew below him in circles so that they could catch him in case he fell. In Harry's 2nd year, when everyone thought he was the heir of the Slytherin, they turned an uncomfortable experience for Harry into a laughing moment when they would tease him and walk beside him saying, make way, the heir of the Slytherin passing through," and they would make funny scared faces, which helped Harry take it all in a more light-hearted way. They were also ready to defend Hermione's honor when Draco Malfoy called her a mudblood. When Harry couldn't go to Hogsmeade, they gave him their prized Marauder's map. They already knew the Hogwarts ins and outs. They felt it was time for someone else to use it. When Harry Potter was being bullied by Draco Malfoy, the twins came to his defense, and they even risked their lives by participating in Dumbledore's Army, a secret student organization that taught defensive spells to prepare for the impending war. Overall, Fred and George's early years were marked by their sense of humor, love of pranks, and loyalty to their family and friends. Their mischievousness would later shape their future endeavors and impact on the wizarding world. Have you ever wondered how the Weasley twins opened their joke shop? At the World Quidditch Cup, they placed a bet with Ludo Bagman, a Ministry of Magic employee, that Ireland would win and Victor Crumb would catch the snitch. Ludo Bagman was a gambler and had no money after the match. He paid many, including the twins, with leprechaun money, which disappears after a while. The twins thought it was an honest mistake, but learned in time Ludo would not pay them back. They were very downhearted because they had been saving that money for some time in order to open their joke shop. When Harry found out, he offered from his Triwizard winnings. The twins didn't believe him at first, but Harry convinced them and asked them to buy Ron some new dress robes and say it was from them. Fred and George's business became even more successful in the years leading to the Battle of Hogwarts. Besides prank products, they expanded into products for defense against the dark arts with shield hats. They saw not many students were skilled at protection spells, and seeing their success with the hats, they started making shield cloaks and other accessories, even obtaining a contract with the Ministry of Magic, who wanted protection for their field agents. They used their products to support Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix in their fight against Lord Voldemort, and eventually joined them in the Order after Dumbledore died. During the mission of getting Harry out of his Aunt Petunia's since he had turned 17, 6 people took Polyjuice potions to look like Harry, including the twins. Throughout the flying battle with the Death Eaters, George lost an ear. At that moment, he and Fred were no longer identical. During the Battle of Hogwarts, Fred tragically lost his life while fighting alongside his family and friends. George was left to carry on the legacy of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes on his own. Despite the loss of his twin brother, George remained a loyal member of the Order and continued to support Harry and his friends in their fight against Voldemort. Fred and George's shop Weasley's Wizard Wheezes became incredibly successful after the fall of Lord Voldemort. The twins' inspiration had come from real-life pranksters, including their own father Arthur Weasley and the infamous Monty Python comedy group. George married Angelina Johnson and had 2 children, Fred II and Roxanne. Throughout the series, we see the Weasley twins display bravery, loyalty, and fierce determination to fight against injustice, even if sometimes it was mere rebellion. They were also incredibly close to their family and friends, often putting their own lives on the line to protect those they loved. And let's not forget their incredible sense of humor, which brought joy to many during their darkest times. Their ability to make people laugh makes them beloved characters to fans of all ages. Fred and George's close relationship and loyalty to each other was based on Rowling's own relationship with her younger sister. She wanted to portray the bond between siblings and show that family is not always just about blood ties, but also about love and support.